Tone, what's your reaction to so many teams, players, and leagues following the Bucks' lead?
So I'm going to tell you that I was quite surprised, and I'm going to give you a very specific moment last night of being surprised. I was watching the Nats and the Phillies for a while, and then it got near the top of an hour, and maybe it was 7 and maybe it was 8. I don't know. But I thought, okay, let me get on to a sports center because I want to know what is the latest reporting on the NBA. That's what I want to know. So I turn on ESPN, and they've got a baseball game on. So I take the clicker, I go 1 up, and there's a WNBA game. But it's not on. And I'm watching these women, and they're standing together. And some are hugging, and all are talking, and one is speaking. And I go, whoa, what is going on here? And they talk about the role of black women in the culture. And they say, we're not playing tonight. I stayed on that for about 20 minutes because I was surprised and I was also impressed. You and I, look, I think it's good that people are going back to work at their professions. Just like you and I, we are at work at our profession. But something happened yesterday and something is happening today that is different, that I am more optimistic about than I believe you are. That power is being shown, that this is a jolt to the system. And that was my reaction yesterday.
And Tony, again, I'm glad that you have had that reaction. I just wonder how many jolts to the system can we take? We had one in late May with George Floyd. We got another one. I've had jolts to the system. People in that background behind me that you see in Chicago, where I am right now, Laquan McDonald shot 15 shots. 15.
But I'm talking.
That was a joke.
Mike, I'm talking about the athletes. I'm talking about the athletes.
But I'm talking about the athletes are responding to something I'm tired of. I know what you're saying. You're right, by the way. But I don't disagree with the words you're saying. People are being galvanized to a degree around these tragedies. I am to the point now where I'm tired of the tragedies. I am tired of the tragedies. I am worn out. I got a message, a text message today from my friend Vinny Goodwill, who's in media as we are, brother from Detroit. And the message simply said, I'm exhausted. I get it.
I get that.
Arthur Ashe used to say that being a black man in America was like having an additional full-time job. It is. And so I want to be as encouraged as you are. I have wanted that all summer. I've called you. You know, we've had private conversations. I say, Tony, I want to get to the point where you are.
So I can't speak to your circumstance. It's not my circumstance. So I'm looking at it differently. We all look at things a little bit differently.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying in our careers, we've always wanted athletes to live in the real world as well as this fantastic world that they live in. And now they are. This is athletes, the WNBA, the NHL, baseball, the NFL, which is doing promos for voting, registering and voting. These are young people supporting other young people who are athletes and sharing a common ideology. I'm not saying I'm crazy optimistic, but I'm saying that this seems meaningful to me.
Oh, it is meaningful. It is. Now, what's it going to do? What's it going to do? And Tony, that's where my cynicism comes in. That's where my cynicism comes in. I'm living right now in Chicago in a police state. And that is that way for a lot of reasons. I walk down Michigan Avenue, which I think is the greatest boulevard I've ever walked down, in this country, if not the whole world. It's a police state. And I don't know what that means for me. I asked my friend Robbie Petty, who you know last night, he's in Chicago, and I said, come and meet me at Tavern on Rush. Just walk up Michigan Avenue. He said, Mike, it's a police state. I'm getting a car to go those 4 blocks. And we had a laugh, but I said, you're right, take the car. Because that's the reality. And by the way, those players you talked about, those black men and women, those players, they've had that reality before. Other folks may not have known it, but they have had that reality all their lives because most of them come from neighborhoods just like I come from. The south side of Chicago in my case. And whether you are, whatever existence you're from, like 70% of those athletes come from these types of communities. Tony, this has been their reality. I am glad that people are now trying to prop them up and support them, us. I just don't know what it means. I want it to, it is meaningful, but what does it mean?